Hi YouTube, I hope you're doing good. I watched Dr. Phil with some body language experts. I guess they're on YouTube and they'll take like a video, say if it's like a murder or whatever, and some had worked for different governments and um in their different expertise of analyzing people. Well, I was watching and a little odd that I ran across just this in particular. I think it's like a at least a month old, maybe more. I'm not going to go look right now, but I'm going to share that video. Well, this is something I've recognized with liars in my life. And I saw, okay, two things when they're talking after they say something, or to laugh about it after they say something, and to fiddle with the brim of their, or with the, what is it, not the brim, well, yeah, well, anyway, what goes back to the ear, they'll sit there and fidget with that part. They put their fingers underneath that part as they're talking, like to keep the lie from being detected that they're telling. So you'll have like, oh geez, I wish I would have got some sunglasses out or something to make my point. Let me see if I can. Oh, this might work. And you'll see what I mean and recognize this. I was watching Israel News Live and Stephen Ben had his glasses like this. As he's talking and he's saying an untruth, he put his two fingers like this in between there and there as he's talking. So it looks something like this as he's talking, if you see what I'm saying. Well, you'll recognize it if you go back to the last video well, I've been analyzing people's body language all my life because, my instincts, it's just like with that, and I'll go back to all this, but it's just like with that Carly that went missing, that girl, um, what was it, down in Alabama? I knew it was a scam, and I said so, you know, about, oh, what was it, about 4 or 5 days ago, I said, I just have a funny feeling about this. That's why I'm not getting all upset about it or anything because I think she's not telling the truth. So, but anyway, scripturally, when I know somebody isn't telling the truth, and excuse my cigarette machine noise, I'll be rolling some while we're talking. But whether they know it or not is one thing, but when they know something isn't true, and they push it through as untrue, I know how to detect that too. Of course, because I know better, number one, and number two, I can point out the symptoms of their lies as they're lying and after they lie, like their heart rate and different things that they'll get flushed, different things. But yes, this glasses thing I've noticed a lot. And another thing a liar will do, and they'll say it's because of their bifocals, or they'll give you the authoritarian halfway down the bridge of the nose glasses thing. Let them slide down to about there and look at you over the top of their glasses while their bifocals may be down there for reading. Yeah, likely excuse. And there's a lot of people I know that don't actually need glasses but have gotten glasses to help disguise themselves in different ways. And sunglasses, to me, that's, yeah, if you really need them, that's one thing, but most people you really don't, you know. But unless you're going to sit there gazing or whatever. But yeah, body language is a real science, and there's people that are, like they were talking, like the misconception if somebody looks away, they're telling the untruth. Well, and they didn't use the word I'm going to use, but these psychopaths will look you right in the eye and lie and keep staring and not even blink. So yeah, and that's a real thing too, that they practice that because they've heard all the body language expert thingies too. And so yeah, just keeping ahead of their games. That's kind of how it is. So yeah. But yeah, I noticed that with Stephen Bendanoon. It's like, God, my son did that. My adopted dad, Doug. And when they're saying something, either that they shouldn't be saying or that is untrue. So it could be either one of them things, but it's usually for an untruth that they will monkey with the bridge of I think it's the bridge, yeah, of their glasses, you know. No, the bridge would be here, that's right, yeah. So the earpiece, I forget what they call the dang thing. You know what I mean anyway. But they'll sit there. And I've seen it so many times, and I seen him doing it, I'm like, and I knew what he was saying wasn't accurate. It was an out and out lie. Part of what he said was when he was starting out, and it was something to do with something Hebrew writings, that most of that is a falsehood anyway for their benefit. So going by that doesn't help anybody at all. Just to help you learn the enemy is more what it actually is. That's the truth. I also shared yesterday in my community parts, a woman that was explaining parts of the Gospel of Mary. And she said, after she explained how Mary wants to help everybody ascend and why they're hiding that femininity from the world, because they don't want you to have like the two parent and the Trinity, the energy with the people in the world. They don't want you to understand that. But she said what I thought was funny. She said, well, Mary told us, so basically, if you do this sin or you do that sin, there really is no good or bad. No, no. It is good or bad, um, depending on if you want to ascend or not. Um, but there is always a good or bad, and we get what we give. So the seeds we sow is what we reap, you know? That's what that is. Yes, there's still a good or bad. That's how you get different seeds that are sown. So yeah. And if you care about somebody, you might take the time to tell them the difference. But if they're um, really not on that level, they really just aren't. And it might take them many lifetimes to get that right. Or there really is a place for them that won't be comfortable like this is here. And they have made our lives uncomfortable. These are the people that are going to have no comfort, you know, not like they could have, because this is the vibration they're keeping themselves on. It's really not of your or my doing. This is on them. So I love analyzing people. I really do. It's like my thing, and I'm always spot on. Always. I always know you. Just open your mouth. I'll hear you and see you and know you. And likewise, because I don't hear or I don't hide, I'm transparent like that. So I'm easy for people to analyze. although they may not truly know my soul, like if I'm angry or happy or something, all these things are, yeah, I'm an open book, easy for you to see. But my reasons behind something might be a little different because we're living in some weird times, to tell you the truth. It's not that I'm necessarily going to fight fire with fire, that type of attitude, but there is a reckoning for people that do ill will. That's what I'm talking about. So when this lady, and her name is Dr. Joanna, boy, the last name might be a hard one for me to do. It sounds kind of Scandinavian, or not Scandinavian, maybe one of the Slavic, like Polish or Czechoslovakian or something like that. But um, I liked her a lot. It's just when she said there is no good or evil. It's like, no, it's not do what thou will be the whole of the law, like the Aleister Crowley mindset. No, there's still right and wrong, and you're gonna pay for your misdeeds, especially if you're intentionally doing them. If you keep doing the same thing, or even pretend that you're not, but you know better, that's on you. Do I care if you extend? Ultimately, yes, but right now, nah, not very much. Maybe in a few thousand millenniums or eons or somewhere down the line, there's some people I really don't want to be in my future, you know, because of their preferences in life, whether they're wicked or whatever, who they are inside, actually are. Somebody that knows so much how they are acting and can't wait for the next time to act like that. Those are the type of people I'm talking about. I'm not talking to, I hear like Andrew say like how a narcissist will, like, he even bought like the wrong peanut butter. No, you know what I'm talking about. We're not talking about buying the wrong peanut butter out of these people. They bought the wrong God, or they are a part of it. They're his very own. These wicked, sadistic people are Satan's very own. That's who their father is. Yeah. If you think about it, and he was a liar from the beginning, and he's the father of all confusion. Just think of all the lies that have been implemented from the beginning till now. They made a major production out of deception. That some of us are just starting to sit back. Some of you are just starting to sit back and go, holy cow, this is beyond crazy. Yes, they are. You can't, and we can't fix these people. Only Christ really can. And to try and reason with somebody that's unreasonable, or that implements word salad, or that has the pretense that they don't understand, that one really fucking pisses me off. When I know they know full well what I said. I mean, my tiny grandchildren can understand it, but they have problems conceiving what I just said. That one will really piss me off. I walk away. It's like if I have to communicate and I'm being uh, squelched before I begin. It's not even worth it. It's a waste of my time. you know. So yeah, I mean, I tried to be a fixer of souls when I was a little kid, right up until now, and I've learned a very hard lesson that only God can do that, and even trying to reason with these type of people isn't even worth my time, you know, to try and I will never ever explain myself to somebody. And I've learned how to say no too. Absolutely. And I'm subject to change my mind at any given moment within the day, and I never used to do like that. Like if I say, well, I'm probably going to make this for supper. If before supper time gets there, I used to just do what I said I was going to do, but now within my house, when I say I might do this, that's just what it means. If I don't, I don't. And if somebody's counting on me working for them without any credit, uh, well, they can cook for themselves or whatever it takes. That's my attitude right now in my life. Wasn't always like that. I'd go to work, I'd come home and work and continue to work, you know. And that's really basically led a lot to me having health problems, was worrying about other people many times before I did myself, you know. Just be careful of that draining energy thing. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, that old grab your glasses thing, isn't that amazing? I couldn't believe what I was saying. It's just like Jacob Israel. He'll go to say something and then he'll go like this, you know. I know what that means. You just slide. Or when you're laughing, you might cover your mouth. You know, I do that, but I don't, not to lie. I don't say something then go like this, you know, unless I'm being goofy, like say something bad and then I'm like, you know, you've seen me do something like that. But ah, go ahead and analyze me. I know my heart's pure. I know where I'm coming from and going to, so I really don't care what too many people think. I'm in general, yeah, no matter what their degrees, because yeah, I'm right there with that. I understand people, you know, even if they don't say it. Can you imagine being like a public figure and having things going absolutely horrible in your life and not really being able to get anybody that you can console in like somebody like on that same level of torture or whatever that would absolutely understand everything you're saying, and the second part would actually care, you know. Can you imagine being in the public eye not really having that? I see it. I know a few people like that, you know. So there's people out here that might think, well, there's narcissist overload channels out here on narcissists and people speaking about that. But telling people things different ways out of different, sometimes you'll hear something and it'll strike you just a little bit different. And maybe you're like me, I'm not entirely over my trauma. As a matter of fact, I became a combat warrior because of it. You just don't get over that, you know. I mean, my heart is peaceful, but I'm on high alert. That's not going to go away. I'd be foolish if I let it. And that's been proven to me time and time again. So, yeah, as they say, time immemorial. This is all real. So, I mean, I would love to be, as that meme says, delicate like a flower instead of like a bomb, you know? But I don't have that luxury. So, yeah, sometimes in my life I get a little envious on that note, but I would never try to do anything to another person's life because of that. As a matter of fact, that's really why I speak about that, because there's other people that are in that situation that might even have like anger issues. If you do, um, oof, I, seek help for real. I would say spiritual help. That's a real dangerous place for you to be. I had that a little bit in my childhood and young adult, well, teenager still. Thank God it didn't escalate into my adultness, you know. But if you're an adult with anger issues, you really gotta chill, you know. I mean, I can see if somebody really, really, really pushes your buttons, but if you let that carry on for days on end, or it's something that you just can't shake that feeling or something, it'll just eat you up. You gotta let that go, you know, really. So I talk about things to keep prepared and prepare other people for things that they're going to encounter. I'm not reliving my trauma every day, and you know, I'm just not. You know, things that happen, it's what happened. There's nothing I can do about it now, except for beware that they don't happen in the future. Beware of the people like that, or the ones that are those that I know in my life, and I expect what they are out of them. You know, they're who they show me, not who I want them to be and who I pray for them to be. They're just exactly who they've shown me to be, you know. And that's a hard pill to swallow for people, but that's the way it is. So I don't always talk about mental health issues, but this whole spiritual war is a mental health issue with the world. Sit and talk to you for a while now. Really is. The world, I would say 7 out of 10 people have, this is just my opinion now. I don't know if there's been a study taken, but I would say at least 7 out of 10 people on this planet have trauma issues, and I think a lot of them are, if not violence, sexual abuse for sure. A lot of people, you know. I mean, that don't even realize that they might have been emotionally sexually abused even in their childhood, and that trauma has formed who they are as adults, the way they act, what they wear, even how they walk or sit, or, you know, that's real things, you know. Like, I've met people that appear to have the most confidence in life. Like, they're out there in front, they're like, appear to be really confident in who they are. If you run across those type of people that, let me see how I want to say this. If you run across somebody like that and there's just a tinge of like, something's wrong with this picture, just something kind of fake. Then it probably, you're right, your instincts go with that because I have never met a person of confidence that I couldn't use the right words on and break them if I wanted to. So, yeah, they're more fragile than what they appear to be, you know. They really are. They're weak in all reality like that, you know. My opinion, you know. And sometimes these people need to be broke, just like a horse you want to ride. You have to break it first. But being that they're working for Satan and they're demonic, you break them so they cannot function for him. That's the war we're in. And that is what I do if I have to do that, you know. Oh, speaking of that, somebody I can't touch because he's so connected that threatened me. My name is in his book. Yeah, well, your name's out of mine. Not only started going bald this last 6 months, but has gotten extremely gray just within the last couple weeks. Go look at Lionel Nation and the stress on his face for he's trying to put a facade that he's okay. Go look at him. I'm not kidding. It's just really amazing what a month will do to a human being that isn't working for God. Check it out. I'm not kidding. Now that can happen with diet and stress and all kinds of reasons, you know. But oh, and for the record, probably shouldn't dye your hair with that bald spot. It'll really look bad. So just go with the flow, dude. Wear hats like a lot of other people, or better yet, shave your head. That'll look beautiful with those John Lennon glasses, you know. Because if you're going to act like you're related to Pinhead, you might as well look like him, you know. If anybody's seen the Pinhead movies, well, those are some wicked. Yeah. I think I went back and tried to watch it, and I'm like, wow, the stuff I would watch when I was younger, that it's like now it's like things are so gross in the world, these aren't even entertaining anymore. Just more evil stuff. I used to love horror movies till my life became one, you know. I didn't realize it at first. Then it started catching on. It's like, wow, I don't have to watch a movie. I'm in one. Yeah. I guess we have maybe a heat wave coming up. I don't know. I heard the East Coast was going to be rather warm. So that might be a change for you all. We've had a cooler summer too, so um, we could use some warmth. Yeah. What are some tactics that you notice that people do when they're lying? Another one I can tell you is now getting upset if somebody says something untrue about you or calls you a liar or something. I have snapped on people and I've yelled at them. But I also have been confronted by the liar that if you confront them on their lie, they will start yelling and screaming and even call you names, whatever it takes, you know, or even try and change the subject, all kinds of tactics, you know. You'll learn a lot of them, even what people will do in our daily lives from that panel of them for body language, or what they are is interrogation specialists, you know. So, yeah. But it really doesn't, it's not far stretched that if somebody claims to love you and you caught them in a lie and then they get angry about it, they're just angry they got caught. They're not upset that they would want to change their ways, you know. I've encountered that. And I've also encountered where there wasn't even a reason to lie about anything, but they would lie anyway just because they thought they could. And then when they got caught, they just kept lying because they didn't care. Just out of pure feeling of superiority and obstinance, you know? Yeah, I ran across that. So, let's see, anything else on that? Part truths. Yeah, that's, they're always good for that. Half truths. Still makes everything a lie, even if it's part true. There's nothing worse than having a conversation with a liar. It's never real. Even if parts of it are, it's just never really real. Even your response isn't. I've had conversations with people that were liars, confronted them in a lie, had them get angry at me, and then try and like even pinpoint little faults or whatever the case may be. Well, like you did this 10 years ago or whatever. And be like, dude, really? I bought you the wrong peanut butter and you're bringing this up after you haven't been home for a month and a half? You know, I'm just giving a real scenario, basically. Something like that. I was like, really? you know, not Doug, but I've had that actually happen, those types of things. Or get so angry that they become violent because they've been caught in a lie, or just lie to the very end, even when you're like, look, I'm not even mad. Just tell me the truth and I'm going to go do the dishes and you can continue playing your video game and pretend the whole world's fake like you know. And I really was to that point in my life with liars. It's like, I can forgive anything and I let it go. I might try and work through things if they think they're going to remain around me. Then I'll have boundaries set, and this is exactly what I expect. Take it or leave it, that type of feeling. But, if they're just going to go on their way after they're busted, it's like, yeah, okay, bye, you know. But if they want to remain around me and still have some kind of working relationship in my life, and they've done me dirty, I have boundaries now, and that no thing is a big thing to me. And my time, and even changing my mind, which was a really hard thing for me to even adapt, because I'm a woman of my word. But this is one time, because my energy might get taken from the retardedness of the narcissist's nature may actually rob me of my energy from something I was going to do, well, then they bought that. They didn't get that for free. So everything's like a purchase in life, and you reap what you sow type of thing, you know. And they just purchased themselves a whole boatload of fire. Yeah, really, I have living proof that people don't just get away with the dirty things they do in life. And I don't necessarily call it karma. I call it the Lord is my vengeance, and I know that. And I say that over and over again. It's not me, but he helps me. And I may not even ask him. He'll just see what I'm going through. So it doesn't seem apparent on this planet that, like, maybe you feel like you're not being helped or whatever. God first tries to nudge us, and if we don't feel that nudge, he'll probably have Satan push us. Or let, I should say, he doesn't have him do that. He'll let him. But I'm going to tell you, if you're his very own, it's not going to let Satan push you for free. If that freak pushes you or any of his bloodline do that, they will pay dearly. And that is true. And sometimes it seems really drastic, but that is the way it is. Like, I've seen people that abuse children get cancers and not be able to talk and different things. Because sometimes they weren't silent enough or they weren't talkative enough in times that they should have been for other people. There's different reasons why God will silence somebody, you know. So I believe that he does actively work on our behalf and doesn't just expose secrets to us. Yeah, he tells us secrets, but he actually helps us too. He helps us ahead of time because he knows everybody's heart, you know. So they really do get what they give, and that's our vengeance from him. That's retribution, paying out of their own souls. So really, only only thing is, if you try to talk to somebody and you know they have the Jezebel spirit or they're demonic or both, um, you really can't talk to them. You can plant a seed in them of fear. It's not something that you should be out there doing to everybody in the world, like a lot of these podcasters and writers and different people and news anchors, whoever, will be out there just spreading the fear porn side of the whole situation in the world. Well, I'd rather talk to my local demon and tell it, there's a place for you, you know, and then to the Nephilim in the bloodline, there will be a place for you. Depends on where you want to be. I'm going to be comfortable. What will you be doing? You know, are you going to take a drink of water and never satisfy your thirst because that's what you put on other people? You didn't validate people, you didn't care about people, you didn't empathize with people, you know, of substance, you know. So, anyway, yeah, they'll pay. And it's just like my cigarettes are getting older or whatever, and my injuries. I work through them with strength, with the help of God. And there's a lot of people my age, um, they really are physically unfit or weak, you know, really. So I know God helps me. I'm living proof, you know, and so are they by what's happening to them. The decay that their father loved to put on them, they get an extra helping. We get a extra helping of the Elijah spirit, and they get an extra helping of the satanic to help them. And there's nothing uglier than an old, ugly narcissist that used to be able to use their looks to get anything they wanted that can no longer do that. Oh, that's really hard to live around, you know. And man, do they get ugly like that. When that, like, people know when the mask falls off, it's like, wow, you know. I call it pointy faced. It's like usually like if you've got a loving personality, or your face will reflect sort of like a round, innocent type of. But if they're being demonic, or you can get that when you're tired too, or sad, or if you just cried, your face isn't going to look so beautiful. But do you ever see how they'll get like beady eyes, almost like their eyes will glow red, and they get these pointy features, like just demonic shit, you know? Yeah, their faces change because their father comes in. Whoop, hello. Hello, Christian lady. I'm gonna annihilate you through this person, you know? No, you're not. Go look in the mirror, you ugly thing, you know? I've told people that. Go look at yourself right now. Keep that same look on your face when you go in the bathroom or wherever, and look at yourself and tell yourself that you're good looking after that. Yeah, I don't think so. It's good things to know body language with people, and it's not always true. Not always, and you can even get hurt. I've seen people that will act like they're going to hug you and punch you, and I mean, I'm talking really demonic, evil, intent people that use human reactions physically for their demonic plans, even in lovemaking. What I thought was lovemaking ended up being like a nightmare, you know? Different things. Yeah, we got to be careful. Body language is a real thing. But like I say, with the demonic, you can't always trust that. In fact, once you find out who their father is, you cannot trust it. All you can do is forgive as we go along and pray and put up boundaries. So, let's see, anything else? Yeah, really, mostly what was on my mind was that Israel News Live. It's within the first like 6 minutes or so. And he says something and grabs his glasses, like, I'm like, oh no, you didn't just do that. I have seen so many liars do that, or grab their glasses like that and take them off their face and fold them with one hand, even, you know. And I know that can be actually a sign of nervousness too, and there's people that'll have like, or it's a signal that they're in deep thought and they need that moment to think before they speak. And I know professionals that will do that too, but a liar will do that also. So there's different things that um, aren't always what they look like, you know. Like I say, the laughter of saying something stupid and being embarrassed and covering your mouth, or laughing out loud and covering your mouth versus telling the untruth and putting your hand up in shame, you know. And then you can tell by the eyes and the body language that goes along with that movement. So yeah, everything they think, do, say, eat, whatever, really tells a lot about a person, you know, for real, you know. I used to call them soup eaters, but, you know, like, you could always tell, like me, I could always tell, like, in the gay community, they'd eat a lot of soup. I'd call them soup eaters, you know. And that was for their digestive system and their sodomite ways. I'm just telling you the truth. They'd tell you that too, so, but they won't tell you the unhealthy ramifications that they've had to go through because of that action, you know, like anal cancer and different things. Yeah, unnatural ways bring out unnatural results in our physical being no matter what we do. So that's where it goes back to whether something is good or bad. Yes, there are things that are good or bad, obviously. There's a reason why scriptures were written to protect people. I mean, even like in the Book of Mary, and I was trying to get that information out of rabbi that know these things, but there's different ways that you even wash your body. Um, Men and women, there's different techniques and teachings that were passed down from God and care on our health care, even and our hygiene, that is missing out of the scriptures. All kinds of things, you know. Oh, and I was going to say about that Psalms being a love letter, you know, like David and King Solomon writing Songs of Solomon and stuff. Um, isn't just a back and forth like the man says something, the woman says something. The man talks and talks. No, he's got these poems. It was a song that he'd sing. And then there are responses by the maidens that he was singing to, or the woman, or whatever in these things. So, and you can pretty much decipher if they're talking to a man or a woman or a group of people when they're talking. So, yeah. But it isn't like every other one in those texts. So, you know, like I say something, you say something back and forth. No, it was blah, blah, blah. And then a bunch of blah, blahs, and then she'd answer, you know, whatever. So, I think that's about it. I just really wanted to make that point about the covering of the mouth and or the looking away when they say something untrue and they'll go like this. And I mean, if they have books in front of them and they can talk and they're like this here, you know, kind of acting like but they're talking and they're saying something untrue. I've seen that too, you know, like if they have books in front of them or laptop or whatever, and they're able to say a part of a thing and look down, and that gives them a moment for their facial expressions and the rest of what they're trying to portray, whether it's true or not. Now we'll look away like in thought, or we'll say, these types of things. But sometimes it's for the ability to give them a second to lie. Or I thought it was a really good one, the repeaters, like you say. Gee, you were supposed to be home at 9 o'clock to your kid. And here it is, 2:30 in the morning. It's 2:30 in the morning. They'll repeat back, you know what I mean? Gives them a minute to just be able to say something in their defense, But anyway, I think I made my point on that glasses things, the 2 fingers. That freaked me out. Not one finger, not even grabbing it like that, but 2 fingers on the very same side, which would be over here on them, on their left side, when they're telling untruths, just with 2 fingers right there against their temple. That flips me out. Check that out. It's true. Very true. But yeah, I'm going to share that body language link in the description because I think it's important for the whole world to know. These things might save your life. Never know. So, all right, everybody. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA. Have a beautiful week ahead. I love you. Thank you for joining me.